As you can see, somebody has been trying to patch this over and over and over. So what we're doing, we're covering 50 square meters right there with the Geico system, and then we're doing the ridge all the way on that building. There's a 70 linear meters, so we're going 400 mil on one side, 400 on the other one, taping all the joints, prime, first coat and second coat. Obviously degreasing and cleaning prior to any application of the system. So what we're doing now is we're cutting off any flaky bits or any loose bits of the previous patching material, whatever that was. So we're gonna cut out any flaky bits and then use the sticky tapes, go over everything and prime and 2 coats over everything. So here we are on top of the ridge. There's a huge gap on their side. There used to be like a foam element in there. It's after blowing away, and this is letting the water in. So we're gonna fill that gap with expanding foam gap filler, and then we're gonna cut the foam, and we're gonna apply the system onto it. The system has to have something to stick to. So we're taking any of the loose bits off. As you can see, there are mountains of it. While the lads are cleaning the roof and getting prepared for the waterproofing works, I'm going to get some materials. And I just wanted to add a few words about the training required to do those type of jobs. So first, we need manual handling, safe pass, MEWP training, which is a training that allows you to use those platforms, for harness training and working at heights. Those are 5 separate courses that you need to have in place if you want to enter those roofs to do any type of work on them. If you don't, we're going with our second coat. This was a felt roof. It was leaking at the outlet, but the whole condition overall was pretty bad. So here we have all our joints done. And now we're gonna go ahead with the Geico patch over all the joints, transitions and the screws. We're gonna bring the system all the way over the cabin just to exclude any risks of leaks in the future. And the reason why I'm going over the parapet wall on the likes of this roof is because the flashings and basically everything about this roof is just, I mean, look, see those gaps there? If there's a wind-driven rain, that's a potential leak, you know, and we just basically don't know where the water is coming in. So we just have to cover everything. So after this, we're gonna be 100% sure that the roof is completely 100% encapsulated. So we've already power washed the ridge, but now we're wiping it with white spirit, making sure it's degreased. And we're gonna go over it with the Geico patch. And when you see the black product, don't confuse it with some bitumen paste that you can get in the local builders providers, because that's what it looks like. But it's exactly the opposite. This is a highly engineered silicone. And the difference between this and any bitumen product is that this doesn't biodegrade. I don't know the right terminology for this, but in my own words, this basically doesn't go off. The lifetime expectancy of this stuff is 50 years because it's 100% silicone. It's non-natural. Any bitumen products that comes from earth, obviously it's gonna biodegrade and go off in 20 years or 30 years. This stuff doesn't. And the company has already been on the market for 50 years, and that's how they can give such a long lifetime warranties. So that's one of the sections done with the expanding foam. Once that's set today, we're gonna come back with a little hacksaw and we're gonna make sure that it ends up flush, and then we can apply the system onto it. So there is no quick way, there is no shortcuts. Basically every single joint has to be taped, and because of the uneven surface, we basically have to do it in sections of 100 mil at the time. But this way we're going to be 100% sure that this will not crack, and the system will last for the amount of the time that we're guaranteeing it for. We started with our first coat over all the repairs. As I said before, we're going over the capping. Well, the parapet wall. There is no capping. So we have our tape set across the entire ridge, and now because we were using short bits of tape and the surface was uneven, so we have those creases and little bits of imperfections. So we're using a coat of the liquid silicone, the heavy duty one, on top of it, just to smooth it up. And then when that's set tomorrow, we're gonna apply our final coat of the Geico Pro. And here you can see the first coat already been applied. And that's what happens when it rains straight on top of the system. You can just see how the water reacted, how the system reacted to water. But this is perfectly fine. We're just gonna coat it again with a second coat, and this will be perfectly fine. And that's how it's gonna look when it's finished. So that was finished. We have covered 50 square meters of the metal roof. We've covered a small flat roof at the top and 70 linear meters of the ridge. Thanks for watching the video, and see you in the next one.